remember I made a tackle in the backfield one time. He came over there slapping me on the head to congratulate me, and I was just like, dang, I really can do this. And that's when like I started feeling things starting to change.
Okay, I did something instead of chasing that guy or whatever, that kind of thing. And what about the cornerback tradition? Are you aware of the great cornerbacks that they have had here in the past between Pac-Man Jones and Beasley and some of those guys that have done that? You aware of that?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely aware of that. Like Beasley, he comes back all the time, and he'll like try to give me some tips, and he'll try to challenge me to like try to break like some of his records. And then like I play against Pac-Man like on the video games online. He talk trash to me on the line.
What does Beasley tell you?
He'll try to tell me like some of the tips that he used, like whenever he played corner, like some of the tendencies receivers have.
Do you know much about him? I mean, as far as a player, I mean, he was a real instinctive player. He was the kind of guy that gambled and wasn't super fast, but just was an instinctive player. Talk about that at all?
Oh yeah, that's what he lets me know all the time. Like he always tells me he's not the fastest guy out there, but he made plays because like of watching film and his instincts.
Yeah. You know, Locke mentioned something I thought was interesting because, you know, the impression was that you got a lot of your numbers because people were thrown away from Brandon. But in reality, he said people were thrown away from you and more to Brandon. Were you aware of that at all? Did you?
I mean, I didn't really like notice that at all. I was just out there just playing. Like whenever the ball came my way, I tried to make a play on it.
Well, how about this year? I mean, there's a good chance that there will be thrown away from you and maybe working on the other side. Were you going to tell the guys on the other side?
I mean, we already been talking, like, well, mainly like Pat and Brody, they've been talking. They was like, last year they threw away from Brandon, you had a big year. Like, hopefully they'll throw away from you, and this year I'll have a big year.
You want some balls your way, though?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
How much does it help you guys in the secondary when you've got a guy like Bruce on the line going and putting pressure on the backfield?
Oh, that's real big for us because, you know, when they have a guy like Bruce, they don't have too much time to sit back there and throw the ball around. So, you know, you can take more chances and try to jump shorter routes because of Bruce.
And how about, does it help you now that every day in practice to be going against an offense that's throwing constantly?
Oh, yeah, it's real. Like, playing in the secondary, I love playing against an offense like this every day in practice because they challenge you so many different ways and running so many different routes, and you have to be on your toes every single play.
Talk about plays, and you guys look at highlights. Is there a pick that comes to your mind, or is that hit on DJ Woods is the one thing you seem to think about the most?
I think my favorite play was probably a couple years ago when we played Pitt at home, and I caught a ball. And the reason I can stick in my mind is because I watched that play on film so many times, and I was like, when they throw this ball on this play, I'm going to pick it off, and then it actually happened in the game.
Was that something where it was an instinctive player, or did you diagnose it right away and say, this is where I need to be? You remember what it was like, the circumstances?
Like, when they lined up in the formation, I knew the exact play they were going to run. We ran it every day in practice, and I knew when I watched it on film, we do the same route every single time they line up in that formation, so I pretty much knew it was going to come.
Talk about Lockwood, how he prepares you and how much he's meant to where you're at right now.
Locke, he's real key from where I'm at right now. Like, he always in there watching film and coming up with like little things that tell me like tips on what the receiver likes to do in certain situations. I feel like he's the main reason for the player I am today.
And he's a big confidence booster guy, and he's real big on that, isn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's gonna coach you hard, and when you mess up, he's gonna let you know. But when you do something great, he's gonna be the first one to jump on your back, pat you on the back, or just congratulate you.
Does it bother when you get beat, or can you put it behind you?
I mean, you have to put it behind. Like, it definitely bothers you, but you have to learn to put it behind you real quick, or they'll come at you again.
And he mentioned that with Pat a little bit and Brody, some of the younger guys. When they get beat, they kind of hang their head a little bit. And this isn't the kind of deal where you can do that, right? Because they're going to come right back at you.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. And they're starting to learn that, like, this camp, because with this offense, Hogerson, he told me a couple times he's not afraid to go with the same cornerback 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah, has that helped you going up against these guys?
Yeah, definitely. Like, just the route combination they have and the different routes they run and the way the receivers stretch you. Like, you have to be on your toes every single play.